Episode 4, The Book of the Apocalypse. Somewhere beneath the crypt, the inhabitants of Malek's underground realm sat frozen in grim anticipation. They weren't disturbed by the uninvited guest. Nothing in this world disturbed them anymore. It seems they just wanted only one thing: to be heard. But Audrey couldn't make out their quiet voices. There are skeletons covered in sheets. Audrey swallowed her rising anxiety and lifted a tattered hood. Indifferent, sunken eye sockets met her gaze. So Malek played her. Now that's a childhood story I would really like to hear. The anxious voices of her colleagues echoed from above the ceiling. Can you breathe? Are you feeling dizzy? Audrey focused on how she felt. The flames of the braziers she'd lit on the wall burned steadily and reassuringly. There doesn't seem to be any ventilation in here, but there's enough oxygen. That's strange. I'm fine. I'm breathing normally. Is it a crypt, too? Not exactly. The skeletons are sitting on pews like in a church. It's like Malek's gathered his own little congregation here. The ladder leading up was close and voices of her colleagues were clear, but her heart still skipped a beat every now and then. Will I have enough strength to run to the ladder if I have to? Audrey wisely pushed away thoughts of what could make her run. The flickering, waving shadows of the walls were already doing a fine job of painting grim fantasies for her. As that little creep was playing pastor with dead bodies. The low pulpit stood by the wall. It was just the right size for a child. Looks like it. No wonder Astrea was afraid of him. To shake off her nerves, Audrey quietly called for her wolf. The ground split open, obligingly releasing him from the infernal flames. The wolf's appearance and her mere call had become routine for both of them. Wherever I am, I only need to call his name and he will come. Bruno casually approached her and stopped, awaiting orders. You're just here to keep me calm. There's no danger. The wolf kept his eyes on her. Alright, check the corners, pews, all the gaps. Let's do the pews. The wolf walked along the pews for a moment, and then returned to her. He nudged her hand with his cold nose. What is it, Bruno? There was something shiny in the animal's mouth, and Audrey reached out. Let's see. What do you have there? A necklace. Take it. The wolf obediently gave up his trophy. A piece of jewelry has been added to your wardrobe. Realizing that his owner was safe here, the wolf curled up by the wall and closed his eyes. Just a little longer, Bruno, and I'll let you go. I'm going to the pulpit. The old wooden surface held a single item buried under a layer of dust. Audrey picked it up carefully, as if afraid that the find would crumble in her hands. A notebook. Take a look. On the once white pages were words scrawled in perfectly neat handwriting. They had probably been spoken often within these walls. It's like a diary. Perfect. Audrey looked at the emotionless skulls. This is so eerie. Did he really stand here and preach to them? Did they respond to him? Did he listen to their painful stories? A particularly strange thought crossed her mind. What if they're trapped here and Malik is the only one who can hear their voices? She hesitated before tucking the notebook away. Curiosity nudged at her. Will Mikkel let me read this diary too? She didn't know. They're just Malik's thoughts. Read it. She wasn't doing anything reprehensible, but her hands still trembled slightly as they touched the pages. Did Malik leave this place when he grew up? How old was he when he stood here? The already quiet place became even quieter. The congregants seemed ready to listen to their favorite sermons, even if they were delivered by someone else. But Audrey couldn't bring herself to read them aloud. What if his words can bring them back to life? At the very top, circled several times, an inscription read, "Immortality is the greatest crime against all of existence. Only death is perfect in this world, and only death must remain linked to life inseparably. One thing always replaces another." It's true. Light destroys darkness, day swallows night, new devours old, truth heals lies. And only death is always followed by life. Malik's voice echoed in her head, but Audrey heard it as clearly as if it were reflected off the walls. Did he tell Astrea the same thing? There is a fundamental law of rebirth. Anyone who opposes it is an enemy of all of existence. Anyone who stands against renewal, against life, does not deserve to live. Audrey, don't stay silent. I'm fine, I just was just lost in thought. After responding to his voice, Audrey flipped through the pages hurriedly. I will lay sinews upon your dry bones. I will regrow your rotted flesh. I will breathe spirit into you, and you shall live. You shall see that I am the Lord. Serve me, and I will restore your memory of what is to come. Worship me, and I will establish the beginning of a just reign. I will live your lives with you, for we are all part of one whole. I will laugh with you, and I will weep with you. We will die and be reborn together. It sounds like some kind of doctrine? There was more than enough information to think about later. Audrey slid the notebook between her body and the rope. Everything he wrote sounds like a new religion. It's pure manipulation. It's quite debatable. Debatable. On one hand, it sounds like a new religion, but on the other, it seems like an attempt to confuse minds with empty promises. But the biggest question is, who was he writing these words for? The dead? You got to know Malik a little better. Your friendship has improved. I don't know if that's a good thing. She examined every inch of the small chamber before returning to the pulpit. The vacant stairs of the place's inhabitants all converged here. Audrey stepped onto the podium, towering over them. A tingling sensation ran through her fingertips as she imagined herself in the role of a pastor for a moment. What did my father feel when people eagerly hung on his every word? And when, following his words, they swallowed poison without a shred of doubt? A surge of power, excitement, love, or hate? Audrey tried to imagine how she would feel if a crowd followed her. If people followed me, where would I lead them? To the light? To a better life? I don't know. I think both are one and the same. A better life is to the light, and to the light is to a better life. Deep thoughts right here. I'm gonna go with the light, why not? To a faith untainted by human ambition and greed. If you're finished, come back. One more second. A gut feeling told her that she had missed something. Audrey peered under every hood, no longer afraid of disturbing the dead. She searched every corner, hoping to find a clue that would at least answer one question. There has to be something more. The skeleton seemed to be trying to tell her something. Do you want to share your stories with me? Audrey leaned on the pulpit and listened, but instead of voices, she sensed movement. The pulpit gave way slightly under her weight and tilted forward. No effort was needed. The object was meant for a child and rather light. Above the pulpit, there are some symbols on the floor here. Unconcerned with the state of her clothes, Audrey dropped to her knees and brushed away the dust and dirt. The scratched symbol resembled the mark of the beast, but had some distinct differences. The words surrounding it were worn from the pulpit, making them unreadable. Looks like Latin? Audrey took a picture and hurried to the exit. At least now, she had some hope that this hadn't all been in vain. Some time later. Even in her most optimistic dreams, Audrey had no hope that it would be easy to decipher the symbols in the picture. Mikhail decided to speak to Astrea again. While he visited with the unfortunate woman, the others returned to the hotel. Audrey took the opportunity to go to her room and change. She had no idea how soon Mikhail would be back, so she opted for a quick shower instead of a bath. What other clothes did David bring me? We have magic dreams, pleasant awakening, sleepless night, sweet reverie, early morning. You know, I'm kind of digging the magical dreams, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, no, I'm gonna go with it. To continue, she felt the urge to choose a hairstyle to match her new outfit. Midday sun, cloudless sky, full moon. Wednesday? Question mark? I might actually go with it, I kind of dig it. Milky Way, eclipse, very pretty. Crescent moon. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Wednesday, why not? Full moon. Continue. Wonderful. The feeling of freshness and cleanliness instantly lifted her spirits. Now Mikhail won't ruin this mood with his decision about Astrea. She didn't have to wait long for the boss. He entered the lobby almost immediately after her. Before anyone could bombard him with questions, he spoke first, almost from the doorstep. I'm not going to report Astrea right now. By staying here, she has condemned herself to slowly the withering away. As far as I'm concerned, that's punishment enough. The demon's stunned silence was the only response to his decision. She won't help us on the battlefield. Keeping her in prison or sending her to the gallows is pointless. If this woman means anything to the beast, we'll keep her to ourselves. And only to ourselves. There were no more questions. The demons didn't challenge his decision. She isn't our prisoner, but if necessary, she will be. Now, for the important part. She doesn't know whose symbol it is. The only witness to the Astreans' meeting was the empty lobby. The receptionist, who held more than one position in this hotel, had disappeared somewhere. Still, everyone gathered around the Archangel in a tight circle. Cassio spoke as quietly as he could. And the words around it? They mean passage. Literally, it says void, chaos, and darkness. Below that are descriptions of a space beyond life and death. And what is that place? He answered honestly. I don't know. David tapped his lips thoughtfully with his finger. So what do we have? The passage that a mortal can enter into a room where we immortals can't go. The situation seemed hopeless. I'm sure the book is there. We have no other options. Astrea is convinced that Malik isn't the product of her twisted love. He's the world's punishment for her bond with the beast. And she's right. There must be a place that spawned him in the first place. Something tells me this is it. Even if we don't find the book, we'll find the answers. David eagerly picked up on this thought. We've lived for so many years, and we still find new things. I could do without such novelties. I'm afraid this isn't new, it's ancient, something primordial and deep. The boss's quiet words dissolved into the space, settling on their skin with a subtle shiver. Such forces should be opposed by their equals. The immortals exchanged glances, the same thought flared in their eyes. Doubt prevented Michael from voicing the idea. David spoke first. We do have an immortal that Audrey can carry with her. What do you mean, carry with me? A familiar vessel gleamed playfully in the demon's hand. That's where David trapped the demon that possessed the girls. You want to ask the monster for help? If Michael agrees, of course. The Archangel remains silent, weighing the pros and cons. Audrey, will you carry him in the vessel? And then what? She can't make a deal with him. He'll trick her. I'll make the deal. In exchange, I'll give him his freedom. Audrey will release him in that room, and he will retrieve the book for us. And then he will do whatever he wants again? What kind of deals are we talking about? What if the book isn't there? Then the deal won't happen, he'll return to my pocket. And we'll continue our search elsewhere. Oh, we can ask all of them. Okay, thankfully. He's dangerous. Human desire and greed are dangerous. He's just their embodiment. The demon I sealed in this vessel is different from us. He can grant wishes, but as you recall, they often turn against the one who asks for them. Any wish? Their essence is not easy to explain. But this one specifically can go anywhere, whether it's a place or someone else's body. This one... There are more? More than I'd like. Finally, the Archangel said, I don't like this idea, but we're short on time. Hope you can keep yourself in check, David. The demon shrugged. You can make the deal yourself if you want. Miguel ignored the seemingly simple offer and turned to Audrey. David will break the seal, and you'll have to open the vessel when you're under the crypt. That's it? That's it. You're under no obligation to talk to this creature or answer his questions. Talking to him isn't dangerous, Audrey, don't worry. Just don't make any deals or agree to have any wishes granted. Better yet, just ignore him. I can handle this stupid taunts. I'm not gonna trust him, don't worry. We believe in you, Audrey. He can't possess me, can he? Only if you let him in. That's definitely not happening. With that done, the Astrians headed back to the cemetery. Why do I feel like foreshadowing? Sometime later, David's conversation with the demon happened without witnesses. Audrey couldn't say for sure, but it seemed like David was actually making the deal silently in his head. At some point, the strange symbol on the elegant vessel disappeared, and the unusual prison was handed to her. What could go wrong? Miguel's face flashed in her mind's eye. He clearly doubted the wisdom of this decision. What possible consequences did he leave unsaid? The thinned glass chilled her skin more and more. The flask trembled slightly. Eager to break free, aren't you? Open it. Thick darkness began to pour from the narrow neck. It barely touched the ground before it slowly floated upward. Blurred edges took on a barely discernible shape. Audrey tilted her head back, resisting the urge to step away. I'm not afraid of you. The mist loomed directly above her. Two ruby eyes gleamed in the darkness. You. The familiar voice made her hair stand on end. Audrey swallowed hard. She pointed to the symbols on the floor. Over there, a wide, bottomless maw opened in front of her face. The mist took on an animal shape, its black mouth filled with semblance of fangs in uneven rows. Miss me. Cold, damp breath brushed her skin. No. The girls, Laurentino, was it? Me burying it. Shouldn't you be going down to get your freedom? I'm not required to stand here and watch. The mist slithered after her, blocking her path to the ladder. Are you afraid of me? Can you even hurt me? Oh no. You asked a question. Anyway. This voice is super hard on my throat. Alright, here we go. The demon wrapped around her from all sides, as if trying to devour her. Anyway, what you desire? Audrey chose her words carefully, evading the answer. Someone's already made a deal with you. Nothing's stopping me from telling you what I can offer. Aren't you curious about the limits of my power? David said it would be okay to talk to him as long as I choose my words carefully. Asking questions isn't a deal, so it should be relatively safe. And it wouldn't hurt to learn what this demon is capable of. I'm curious. What kind of wishes can you grant? Don't tell you. Alright then. So what about immortality, love, power? I don't have any other questions. Oh, the most popular one. How many times have I asked for healing for down a life, or they ask on others? Really? Haven't heard any stories about people you've actually helped. You know, I won't reveal them to you. You mean tricks to deceive people, so you never deliver on what you promised? The demon chuckled wildly. Their parents never had a chance of making a deal without consequences. So you can't actually help anyone? Only one person in all of history has truly gained immortality. It was so long ago that anyone barely remembers it. Down on life right now. Has anyone ever been happy with wishes like that? Vampires. Some of them. So what about love, power, and I'm taking a drink? No, I'm serious. Doing his voice is very intensive on my voice box, so come on. Alright, here we go. Love. You. The demon chuckled at his own joke and shook with amusement. So lay the whole world at your feet. My domain is the fulfillment of their desires. Can they really make a person love someone?
Yes, you. Last of us who asked for that was loved so fiercely that the man chained her to his bed. Funny how quickly her own feelings evaporated once he turned all of his attention to her. But he never managed to escape his bedroom.
God.
If it makes you feel any better after her rather quick death, it is like you. Great for of love.
That's a horrible story. So what about power?
Those are my favorite wishes: strength, power, dominance. Too bad you're not immortal. I could have struck quite the deal.
So what's the price of power?
Love, my brothers loved what in exchange. Your unborn offspring aren't worth much. Winged children are far more valuable.
Are they bargaining chips to you?
Bargaining chips to those who spawn them. It's a shame that your father didn't know about us. He could have sold you to me for some sort of get in your body. Even much more cooperative.
What a disgusting creature. So what about... I don't have any other questions, thankfully. God, hopefully he's done talking soon. You managed to gain information about the unusual demon without any consequences. Not really. We kind of knew he could already grant a bunch of wishes. The mist swayed in a melancholy manner, as if reminiscing about its best moments.
No one wants something mortal, as long as you're not greedy. You, before you swallow. Have you ever seen someone who ran out of desire? Come up with any more.
Audrey didn't answer. The demon continued. Oh, please don't.
The remains of such creatures are no shells. They stare into the distance but see nothing ahead. Ironic, isn't it? Give them everything only to leave them with nothing. What believe we? What in our truth?
I'm not making a deal with you. The smoky shapes puffed up like cheeks. The voice sounded mockingly heard. The darkness around her thickened, and folded note materialized in it.
Don't be afraid. Change your mind. Be to help.
Audrey warily stepped back from the demon and asked, "What is it?"
My name and the words summoned me. If you ever need me, you can read them. Come to you.
The demon spoke more softly. Audrey felt the chill of his essence.
Call me when you're new. Tell me if you're coughing up blood and dying alone on a battlefield.
Take it, don't take it. I mean, what's the harm in just taking him? Right? It doesn't mean I have to use his help. But it's not a bad idea to have an ace up your sleeve when you're fighting immortals. The semblance of a grin slashed through the mist.
You wanted to take it. Won't tell anyone.
Audrey reached out. A slightly damp, rough piece of paper landed in her hand. with nothing on it. Now you have the ability to summon. Will it be useful or harmful? Who knows? Now, will you go and get the book?
Absolutely.
It's like speaking as Voldemort when he was that little thingy. Yeah, no. The mist shot down and scattered across the ground like a sheet falling off a ghost. The symbols on the floor flared with crimson flame, then extinguished. Audrey waited, an inexplicable sense of unease gnawed at her. The demon returned moments later, though it felt like an eternity to her. His transparent hands somehow held the book. Is this really it? Audrey tensed, expecting some kind of trick, but the demon only hovered in front of her for a moment before finally offering her the find. The Book of the Apocalypse. Audrey drew in a sharp breath. Her clenched teeth, tears involuntarily welled up in her eyes. The book reeked of death, as if the pages themselves were soaked in it.
No, just robbed.
The way the demon quietly asked his questions sent a chill down her spine. Instead of the answer, an equally quiet voice cut through the silence. Better tell me where you got it. The demon no longer laughed. He drifted in and out of misty form, speaking slowly and deliberately.
You make a deal with me.
She backed away toward the ladder without any resistance, she asked. Shall we talk upstairs?
Going upstairs. Freedom. But this time I'm going to try to keep it longer. Until David comes to his senses, I won't risk getting as high.
The mist slowly dissipated, leaving her alone with her thoughts. It was only when she felt the empty but watchful stares of the room's occupants again that a realization hit her. Why are my colleagues so quiet? She ran to the ladder, but stopped on the first rung. I need to be careful in case something happened. I'm holding a book I can't part with. Her hearing strained to its limit, picked up even the sounds conjured by her own gloomy imagination. Audrey peered out cautiously. She slipped outside only after making sure the crypt was empty. Where are they? The heavy metal door was open. She heard familiar voices coming from the cemetery. If all was well, they would be waiting here. Audrey moved as quietly as possible. She stepped along the edge of the streak of light and approached the door. The familiar silhouette stood about 10 steps away, facing a winged figure. The conversation wasn't exactly heated, but the danger in the air was palpable. What should I do? Hide the book under the crypt, don't part with the book. Step out into the cemetery. I'm gonna hide the book under the crypt. Audrey clutched it tightly to her chest and backed away to the hatch. If immortals can't go in there, it's safer down there for now. After hiding the precious object that was entrusted to her, Audrey returned to the doorway. She got a better look at the unfamiliar face. The winged creature kept his gaze on David. There may never be a better moment. War has divided the immortals. Many are discontent. David didn't seem convinced. There are still more who want revenge on Father. You're wrong, David. Strength is on our side. The conversation was quiet, but Audrey couldn't shake a sense of unease. How did you even find me? As Father's prison cracked. Are you afraid that you'll hear his voice? You should be more worried about Sheppa hearing it. The demon shook his head with a predatory smile. He spoke almost softly, as if to a naive child. Sheppa won't hear anyone anymore. Too many voices have appeared in the world of immortals, David. And strong, loud, significant voices. Their owners have crawled out of the catacombs and are ready to speak. Great changes are coming. We need you more now than ever. Your father needs you. The world is on the brink of collapse and you're still fighting for power. Who will you rule when heaven crashes down on earth? Now, while everything is fragile, is the perfect time to claim the throne. We're ready to give everyone hope. Just hope. You know that's enough. The speaker's mood suddenly shifted. He wasn't getting the answer he wanted. His narrowed eyes flashed dangerously. Losing patience, David. You made a deal. What did you ask for? What did you give? Why now? Why not for your father? For hell? For all of us? None of your business. The white-winged ones have you by the balls, and you allow it. I'm starting to think you enjoy it. Oh, I love it. David winked at him playfully and glanced at the Archangel. You have no idea how much fun we're having here. Then what difference does it make whose leash you're on? I'll bring you a harem succubi if you want. You can crawl on your knees in front of them. Velvety laughter rippled through the cemetery. And Dari appreciated the offer, but I'm not coming back. Whatever skills your servants have will not be enough. The demon, named Antari, fell silent for a moment. His silence was far more menacing than his words. Mikhail sensed it too, his voice becoming frighteningly icy. Fly away, while you still have wings. The demon looked at Mikhail in a completely different way now. His eyes lit up with curiosity. He drawled lazily. I thought you were just another celestial rat. Or maybe it's not about you or your talents at all. With the sweep of his wings, the demon was suddenly at the entrance to the crypt. The wind from his movements kicked up sand and leaves. Audrey froze. Immortal? Why am I only sensing you now? Where did you come from? Your mum? Damn, it's too late to run. Yeah, 'cause you need to run. Audrey emerged from her hiding spot and looked up at him. I should probably... stay silent. Ended up here by chance, call it the Astrians. You know what? I'm not giving you shit. Audrey suspected that revealing her connection to the Astrians was a bad idea. The last thing I need is for this demon to use me to pressure David. I got your tongue, or are you insane or something? I mean, I'm gonna go with the insane part. Answer me. Antari, shut up and leave her alone, will you? The demon's curiosity burned even brighter as he scrutinized her more intently. What the hell is going on here? Simple mortal suddenly stood out to him as an unexplained opportunity. Antari tilted his head slowly as if trying to see her significance. At least I have the sense to hide the book. Suddenly all the Astrians were at her side, pushing the demon back with hostile glares. Antari chuckled. I'm leaving, Mikhail. No need to get so worked up. I can see that you're really having a lot of fun here, so I'll leave you to it. As he soared into the sky, the demon's fake grin vanished. He turned to David and promised cold and quietly, but I'll be back. I don't like this. As she watched him leave, Audrey felt that the immortals fully shared her unease. Mikhail's voice pulled her out of her heavy thoughts. Audrey, did you manage not to get the book? Huh? Oh, no, we have it. I left it under the crypt when I saw the unfamiliar immortal. I was afraid he had come for it. Despite his inner tension, he smiled. Well done, Audrey. This red is gone. You can retrieve it now. Time to go home. You're thinking ahead. That's commendable. Yeah. Home greeted its residents with silence. Exhausted from the journey, they responded in kind and headed upstairs. We have such great news, and Furious and Somnus are nowhere to be found. I'm not missing them, I said it. For the first time, Audrey regretted the absence of their superiors. She pursed her lips. It's like they ran away on purpose because there's nothing to scold us about today. David, walking behind others, answered from the stairs. They'll find something. Audrey, don't worry, they'll scold us tomorrow. What about the book? They'll say we shouldn't have lost it in the first place. Sure, we were responsible for storing it, but so what? No one to report to. They unanimously and silently decided to get some rest. Audrey witnessed an unusual scene for the first time. Everyone was standing in front of their bedrooms. Mikhail's is the furthest. David's is right by the stairs. David wished everyone sweet dreams. He was the first to disappear behind the door. Then Cassiel went into his room, which was right next to hers. Left alone with Mikhail, Audrey suddenly perked up. I wanted to tell him about Felonia. Should I warn him or not? I'm gonna not warn him. Gail paused for a few seconds, as if waiting for her to say something. She remained silent, so he wished her good night and left. Audrey stood alone in the hallway. Behind bedroom doors, the residents of the house moved about, unaware of who was planning to visit them. So, I made my choice. I'm sorry, I made a choice? What? Where? Lying in bed, Audrey thought about how freely she could breathe in a house without Furious and Somnus. It's like the wardens have vanished. She couldn't stop thinking about the door that David had disappeared behind, and the playful glance he had managed to give her before stepping inside. Audrey could have sworn he looked at her like that on purpose. Maybe I should visit him. Here's hoping this doesn't lead to Bounce Chicken Wow Wow, I'm just saying. Because, we'll have to remove it. Her imagination continued to paint his bedroom until she was wide awake. I wonder what kind of interior decor he prefers. Curiosity won out. Audrey jumped out of bed and tiptoed into the hallway. Silence told her that either everyone was asleep or the house was an excellent soundproofing. Either option suited her just fine. She raised her hand, or her raised hand didn't even get a chance to knock. The door swung open and a strong arms pulled her inside. I like the bedroom. I was afraid you'd stop picking up on my hints. Falling into his arms felt like a dance, unbelievably easy at first. His hand slid over her curves, and as discovering her body for the first time, hungrily with genuine interest, pulling her closer. So, that playful look was an invitation? Actually, I came here because I finally figured out where your bedroom is. Audrey wriggled out of his embrace, barely avoiding his lips. I hope you'll drop by as often as you can now. Despite sharing that hope, she still held him back by placing her palms on his chest. Beneath her hands, his love-struck heart pounded furiously. I'll drop by while you're sleeping and scare you with extra early visits. He narrowed his eyes, trying to figure out what she meant. Audrey distracted him with a playful kiss on the cheek. I'm waiting for a tour. How many years have you lived here? Surely these walls hold countless stories. Without letting go of her, David lifted her off the floor and set her down in front of a tall wardrobe. All right. Well, here are the shirts you can wear in the morning after our wild nights together. He adjusted a strap around her waist, lifting her a little higher and carried her further into the room. And this is our bed. We're going to spend many wonderful nights in it. Her feet never touched the floor. He wrapped her legs around his waist. I could also show you the desk that I never use, but I'd gladly sit you down on it. Here's the couch where I used to lie and daydream about you. Audrey gently wrapped her arms around his neck. She looked into his shameless eyes. Why don't you show me something a little more personal? A favorite book, a childhood pictures? He lowered her onto the soft couch and loomed over her hungrily. I want a war, Audrey. Why don't we fill this room with new memories? Vivid, passionate ones. So the next time we look at the couch, the mere sight of it will burn us up. So every inch of your body remembers what happened on it. You're insufferable. He leaned back and sighed heavily. He pulled her closer until she was sitting on his lap. I could show you some childhood memories if you want, but I don't have any pictures. The longing in his voice made her heart ache. It was too late to back down. Just tell me whatever you feel like, alright? Well, what do you want to hear about? What was your childhood like? Do they really want to put you on the throne? Will Somnus and Furious ever leave us alone? What was your childhood like? After a brief pause, he answered honestly. Not the worst, I suppose. By hell's standards, of course. I was born with a silver spoon in my mouth, as you humans say. I had everything I could ever want. My father loved my brother and me quite sincerely up to a point. Audrey wanted to linger on the happy moments, but she couldn't. Do you have a brother? Had. To distract her from her growing regret, David playfully tickled her waist. He prepared me for life with Mikhail. He was just an unbearably uptight. Do they really want to put you on the throne? A bitter thought flickered across her mind. When their mission here is over, what will he choose? They do, but there aren't many willing candidates. That demon sounded very convincing. David noticed the shift in her mood and pulled her into a gentle embrace. I don't need the throne, Audrey. I'm not going back to hell. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I will spend my life here with you. I'll grow old. Leave Astrea and I'll grow old with you. It seemed that, unlike her, David had thought this through and made his decision long ago. Even if you grow old, I'll still be mortal. Audrey sighed heavily and pressed herself closer to him. I just need to trust him and stop overthinking. I want to know, will Somnus and Furious ever leave us alone? We got the black book back today. Can we be called heroes yet? The beast is still alive. Malik was able to open the breach for it, albeit briefly, and the book was in his hands for far too long. Everything suggests that evil is several steps ahead. Audrey pursed her lips. She was grateful for his honesty, but she was longed to feel the soaring hope from just moments ago. That belief was a happy future awaited them. I don't know what comes next, Audrey, but I suspect that they'll have bigger things to worry about than us. It didn't sound very reassuring, so David tried to comfort her as best as he could. He affectionately touched her cheek with his lips, the tip of his nose against hers. I'll be right here, Audrey. So close that all you'll see is my loving gaze. Lost in his slightly dilated pupils, Audrey really did stop thinking about everything else. Kids or anything. She didn't feel like talking anymore. Audrey nudged the demon gently so he lay on the couch, and she sat down on him. The leather surface creaked in response to their every move. What memories do you want to keep in this room? The most important thing is that you are in them. The rest doesn't matter. Then memorize this, David. I'll try to give you the fondest memory I can. She ran her fingers through the curls on the top of his head and leaned down to his parted lips. She kissed him deeply, greedily, as if for the last time. His hand slid down her body and pulled up her nightgown. They tugged her closer, forcing her to lie fully on top of him. I was worried there for a second. I'm not gonna lie. I'll save this. David. David cutscene was added to your profile. His heaving chest lifted hers with every breath. His desire pressed against her lower abdomen. As the demon exhaled raggedly, Audrey lifted herself up. David quickly took advantage of her help and pulled down his pants. Ruh-roh. This is it, the greatest temptation of my life. The flames of hell were reflected in its eyes. Audrey had seen him 100 times before, but each time his sincerity and unbridled love struck her as if for the first time. The fire traveled from his arms to her, coursing through her body like red-hot lava. Each thrust burned hotter and hotter. Audrey could barely contain her moans. After all, she already had the greatest reward a person could achieve. Love. David loves you more than life itself. Your relationship has improved. Yes! Sorry guys, but I have to remove parts of that because YouTube. They don't like, us being humans. It's okay. I kind of understand it, but anyway. Out of habit, Audrey plunged into an agonizing process of choosing the right outfit before breakfast. I wish I knew what the day was in store for me. More hardship, something pleasant. Who knows? I'm gonna go with something pleasant for once. Always try and be optimistic. The answer to her question swirled across the floor in a barely perceptible mist. A dull thud came from somewhere behind a wall, as if someone had dropped something on the floor that was not particularly heavy. Is that coming from Raphael's room? Someone we hadn't seen in quite some time. Audrey forgot that she was wearing a nightgown. Her legs carried her forward of her own accord, but the black silhouette that appeared in the mirror's reflection rooted her to the spot. Pale, haggard, Malik stood in the center of a room. Malik stepped forward for a moment. His body seemed to lose its sharpness. You stole something very important from me. And I really want it back, Audrey. So it wasn't Raphael? So it's still a very long time. I'll give you 4. I'll give you a 4 on that one. Alright, let's see here. We gained 3 faith, 1 skepticism, 2 reputation, diamonds. Alright, so without further ado, you can see here where we are. It's been a while, hasn't it? For those of you who know, you know. If you don't know, basically I didn't have the ability to cover RC for quite a while. So pretty much, yeah, no, I haven't been able to cover it because no PC, and I don't really have a phone that can run this stuff. So, yeah. So there's been a lot of updates. Pretty much just, let's go to the new, right? There's been a lot of updates especially since I've been gone for a few months, right? Clearly, books have come out with new seasons. Clearly, the Heavens one. Hey, look, we now have a brand new thing here. So, where Love Burns Eternal, Cold Blue, Advent, I know, has had quite a bit of updates. It's been we're actually officially catching up. It was about 4 to 5 months ago. So if you are in fact wanting me to start playing catch up, get up to where we're caught up, and then keep putting out this stuff, let me know down below. But above all, make sure to support this community, the channel, the content that I cover. Right, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Especially, I gotta love though. It is the diamond rush, right? It is a diamond rush, and things are running super slow. So, yeah, let's see what we get here though. I'll go ahead and let you guys see. Will we get a card? No. We'll get these things that no one even knows what they're for yet. Yeah, no, who knows? Anyway, there's been quite a few updates to the profiles and things like that too. It's kind of cool. But aside from that, yeah, no. I guess I'll catch you all in the next video. Peace out.